I'm Gary, and this is Coasting with Culture, which is all about combining theme park visits and riding roller coasters with various cultural experiences around the world. Previously, Erica and I made our way to Masmoka for a chance to ride the rare Bravo roller coaster. And while only one of us got to experience it, the next day would give us a chance to check out the newest Legoland theme park in the United States, head to a park for a chance at redemption on one of the more difficult to obtain wooden coasters in the country. Then spend an evening with the Buzz Bars for a bit of spooky fun the night before the start of SooperDooperStumble. One of the best calls we made for this pre-stumble run was to stay in a hotel in Goshen so that we'd just have a quick drive over from the hotel to Legoland, New York, the newest Legoland park in the United States as it opened in 2021. Even as the newest park in the chain, it felt like a full park, and its hillside location reminded me a lot of Legoland Windsor back in England, but without the funicular to take you up and down the hill. But there are many LEGO creations to see throughout the park, some of which offer fun interactive experiences like the musical fountain with LEGO instruments. Our first ride of the day was also a first for the Legoland chain, Professor Brick's Factory Adventure Ride. Several Legoland theme parks offer factory tours, and as you queue for this attraction, it seems like it could be the same thing as signage shares the history of LEGO, and many figures with a collection of different LEGO sets. What really makes this experience stand out from other factory tours, though, is that it's a trackless dark ride, which does more than just highlight the journey from LEGO brick creation to their arrival into homes around the world. You're taking on an adventure where you become a LEGO minifigure and experience the process yourself with that silly LEGO charm. And after the ride, its exit gift shop gives you a chance to add to your own LEGO collection.
This ride was actually a lot of fun. In some respects, this is a lot like going on the factory tour ride at Hershey, because it's not quite true to the way that LEGO are actually made, but it still kind of gives you a general sense of it. It just finds different ways to portray some of the steps in the process, saying that dragons melt the plastic and then octopuses help to shape the pieces. Ton of fun.
The next attraction we enjoyed has become a very common one at Legoland parks around the world, the interactive dark ride Ninjago.
I will prove that I'm the Ninjago master.
While this was the first one I rode since I was in Malaysia, I had the same experience with this as I did that one, in which I could never really figure out how to aim with the hand-waving motion. And it seemed no matter what I tried, it was always going off to the side, so needless to say, my score was pretty rough.
I am not a Ninjago master.
But at least we had one competent ninja.
Fourth best of the day here.
Luckily though, the sorrow of failure wouldn't last long as we found our inner child with some nearby play structures which admittedly may have led to us going a bit hardcore.
This is not a good idea.
It might be a surprise that it took us an hour to ride our first coaster, but we did finally get to them, first with a lap on Dragon's Apprentice, which is a Zamperla family gravity coaster that has been one of my more commonly ridden chainless coaster models, and one that's quite popular for the younger coaster riders. The follow-up though was the always fun Dragon, Legoland's signature roller coaster attraction that starts with a dark ride portion featuring animatronic LEGO figures inside the castle, and then the outside roller coaster portion of the ride. This location's Dragon was built with a Sierra Force 5 coaster. The Force model is generally made to provide smaller thrills than their larger counterparts, but the Force 5 layout offers a ride that dips its toes into being a bigger thrill thanks to its larger size, especially with the first drop. This variation of the Dragon that I've experienced at multiple Legolands now is by far the best for the coaster portion, and one that would be enjoyed by a wide range of visitors. After riding the two coasters, we paid a visit to the LEGO Palace Theater, which had a few different 4D movies showing throughout the day, and it was neat to have several to choose from, so you could come back multiple times and see different films. We took in a viewing of LEGO Dreams, which tells the tale of an epic adventure into the dream world, and ended with a rather large amount of soapy suds being blown onto the audience, which was a bit unexpected, but good for a laugh. As we'd be departing from the park before too long and grabbing lunch on the road, we decided to get a light snack that's a signature item at American Legolands.
So Erica has insisted that I must try these apple fries.
Try it without the caramel first, because everyone who knows Legoland knows the apple fries are where it's at, and if you know, you know.
So we'll do a little bit of whipped cream there. That's pretty legit. Not gonna lie, that's pretty good.
Seriously, these are the best thing. Doesn't matter what Legoland you go to, their signature apple fries are amazing.
Do a little caramel on it. Do a little bit of whipped creamy. And we got a caramel covered apple fry.
With that delightful snack enjoyed, we had one last experience to try before departing from the park, as we took some time to enjoy another signature of Legoland theme parks by visiting their Miniland area, home to a massive collection of LEGO replicas of famous landmarks and cities. Legoland New York offers multiple displays inspired by several American locations, including the likes of San Francisco and its famous streetcars with the Golden Gate Bridge, Las Vegas with the Luxor Hotel and Stratosphere Tower, complete with a party bus that would circle around town and through the nearby desert landscape, and even a bit of Philadelphia with Independence Hall. There's also some American landmarks with fun interactive features, whether it be a singing version of Mount Rushmore,
Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Find the music and the step, and with the girls be handy.
or a marching band in front of the United States Capitol building, which march with a little bit of encouragement from the audience. What really stood out to me about this particular Miniland, though, was how well they portray the nearby New York City, as there are whole displays dedicated to its different boroughs. There are a ton of landmarks to find, whether it be major skyscrapers like the Chrysler Building, Rockefeller Center, or One World Trade Center with the 9/11 Memorial. The city's more natural side, from Central Park to the Bronx Zoo, and their major sports venues such as Madison Square Garden, Yankee Stadium, and a trio of the Barclays Center, Arthur Ashe Stadium, and Citi Field near the Brooklyn Bridge and New York Pavilion of the '64 World's Fair. There's even a miniature version of Coney Island, complete with a couple rides, and the famous Nathan's hot dog location, in which you can help a minifigure win a hot dog eating contest. This was certainly one of my favorite Legoland Minilands. It was a great way to cap off our visit to the park.
So as we depart from Legoland here in New York, I have to say this is a very lovely, lovely Legoland park. I think the Miniland that they have here was definitely among the best, especially for the amount of detail and well-known places they had for New York, which makes obvious sense because this is Legoland New York. But I also really, really like that dark ride for the factory ride. That was really cool.
Agreed. The size of this park is huge. They've got so much here to see and do, so much things for the family and the kids. They do need a couple more rides for teenagers that I think that they're kind of missing. They did get a new flat one in this year, the guy said, and they're working on the Pirates Cove area, so we'll see what happens. But this is amazing. For only its second year in operation,
Be fun to see what they do with it in the future years, and maybe they'll get something else to add to the unique side of the park that's different from the others, kind of like how the dark ride here is different than they have at any other Legoland.
Lego minifig dark ride. That was pretty cool. That was
definitely a highlight for this park.
And Dragon is legit. Like, that's a legit dragon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, totally fun. A lot of great day.
But now we have discovered that something happens to be scheduled to be open today, which is one that I tried to get last year, and I couldn't because it was closed.
And I've never been, so I'm excited.
From Goshen, we'd make our way south into Pennsylvania, where we meet up with Philip, who flew into Philadelphia for a visit to Sesame Place. Since this was Erica's first time at the park, we went right over to Vapor Trail, since it's right by the park's entrance. Unfortunately though, that would be the only one ridden, because when we went over to try for our ride on Oscar's Wacky Taxi, we found a familiar sight in the sign indicating that it was closed. Just like the last time I came the year before.
The official word, not enough staffing. Too many people calling out. But on the bright side, Erica got one. And she gets a new park credit.
So to drown out the sorrow of missing one of the more elusive coasters in Pennsylvania, we grabbed a quick cheesesteak from Steve's on the way to Allentown. This led to a bit of pre-stumble fun with a bunch of buzz bars who came for some nighttime rides and Halloween haunt festivities at Dorney Park, which was on the verge of adding a new coaster for the first time in several years. Many got there before we did and had a pre-visit tailgate before heading inside the park. As we rolled up, there were already many buzz bars in the park, and we'd catch up with them after they hopped off of Talon, a coaster which I quite enjoyed during my previous visit to the park back in 2011. My first ride of the night came with a bit of nostalgia, taking a lap on Demon Drop, which I had previously ridden back when it operated at Cedar Point during my 2 summers as a ride host for the park. While there is a clunkiness to this ride, I still get a huge kick out of these old drop rides, especially because of the unique experience with the horizontal pullout at the bottom.
Gary, 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 Gary.
Gary or Gary? Fight it.
Where's Gary?
There was a Buzz Bars takeover of Steel Force, as several of us enjoyed a couple laps on the Morgan Hyper, which was giving better rides than I remember from that 2011 visit, much in the same way that Mamba at Worlds of Fun was giving some great rides earlier at Stumbles of Fun in June. Some of us split off from riding to try out a haunted maze, and I'm really glad we chose Ghost in the Machine, as it's connected with the theme of their upcoming Iron Menace coaster, being based on a steel factory that was haunted, and holy smokes did they make a great maze with this storyline. Our evening at the park was a bit on the short side, but it was an excellent way to get things started with the club. A day that started off with a really nice morning at Legoland New York, its surprise dark ride and excellent Miniland might have tapered off slightly when a coaster that shouldn't be that difficult to ride was, again, difficult to ride. But the night ended on a high note as we enjoyed the company of the awesome crew that we'd be spending the next couple of days with at one of the sweetest places on Earth. Thank you for watching this video from Coasting with Culture. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and click on the subscribe button to see future videos here on YouTube, like these ones which you may enjoy as well. Additional content can be found at coastingwithculture.com, and you can also follow Coasting with Culture on various social media channels at CoastWCulture for announcements, previews, and updates. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care and safe travels.